What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN OnyxCoin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are on this, the 27th of April, sitting at about 1.94 cents. We closed yesterday 4% down, and we did the thing, you guys. We did the thing we did not want to see. We closed below 2.035 cents. Now, all hope is not lost. Here's the deal. We could move lower. We could move lower than this low, and we're still fine. We're still in a prime position to see higher prices. Okay, maybe we just need to consolidate more because we pumped up more than anything else in the market. Maybe, right? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but from the 7th of April until the 11th of April, I didn't see anything else pump 262% in that time. So maybe you got to consolidate a little bit more. Maybe, or perhaps what this is some kind of psyop. It's a fake out to the bearish effect. If we're looking at this here, the reason why closing below 2035 was significant is because if we're looking at the low, the relative low of this move here to the relative high, the 236 is right there at 2.035 cents. We want to close above that. This 236 from this relative low to high is also basically right at that area, okay? So the goal today, by the end of today, next 20 hours, 50 minutes from now, would be to close to the upside. We want to close above here. If we don't, it's fine, okay? But likely, if we don't close above the 236, we close here or lower, we would be earmarked for prices that are lower than this. Now, I want to bring out the other fib, actually, okay? Let's bring out the other fib. We're on a daily time frame. Good, okay? So if we're looking at this here from a relative low to a relative high, we found support, a nice double bottom on the 382. It's very common when you do this to close above the 236 and continue. You've broken out. Once you get above the 236, you've broken out. You broke out of your bull flag here. You've broken out. When you break out, you're supposed to keep going. We did not keep going, unfortunately. We not only just stalled, but we continued to degress, recess, whatever the right word would be, continued to regress down and reject off of the overbought zone on our RSI. That's not a good look right there. You don't want to reject off the overbought zone. Generally speaking, with the overbought zone, when you reject it, you find support at the 50, the 40, or into the oversold zone. It's not common to bounce off the 60. Oftentimes, when you reject the overbought zone, you do not bounce off the 60. There could be a situation where that happens. If we're looking at the overbought zone, it just so happens to be right here. Yesterday closed right here, just at the 60 level in the RSI. What that means is that if today closes green to any effect, we'd have a very bullish setup, a very, very bullish setup indeed. It's absurdly bullish. Whenever you reject the overbought zone, bounce off the 60, you see some phenomenal results, because the reason why, let me explain, is that if you reject the overbought zone, it's normally not a good thing. So if you're doing not a good thing, but then a good thing happens, like if you're expected to move down, but then it goes the other way in your favor, it's that sudden switch, that pivotal moment that actually adds a lot more bullish momentum than if you were to just go into the overbought zone. Does that make sense? Because you've had more time to set yourself up, more time to coil up, stuff like that. But at the moment, that's not the call. I'm not saying that today does close green. I would like it to close green, and I've explained why I would like it to close green, but will it? I don't know. We'd have to look at some shorter term stuff to figure that out. So let's do that. Let's see if we can figure it out. Let's look at the 15-minute time frame. We'll build our way out from there. Okay, looking at the 15-minute time frame, what I like to see is that as we're moving down, there's no volume. Right? We picked up a little volume here as we were moving down, and that was a little discouraging. That gave us the inclination that we might go lower, and we did, but without volume. In fact, the only time the volume came in were on these buying candles. So if we go lower from here, I'd actually be surprised based off of this. I actually would be surprised. 15-minute RSI sucks. It definitely is bad. We're getting oversold, lower lows, lower highs, all of this. Even if we come up here, it would just be a lower high and likely come back down. But the 15-minute time frame, the bright side of that is, it takes a short amount of time for a lot to develop with this. So we could do all this and still, by the end of the day, continue. We could see a green day. You never know. If we're looking at this on a 1 hour time frame, the 1 hour RSI is a little bit interesting. Let me take a sip of water here, you guys. Hold on. That's some high quality H2O. If we're looking at this, we have a double bottom. We have a double bottom in the RSI. At least at the moment we do. This 1 hour candle, we have 47 minutes left. Let's see how it closes. I will say this, and I actually let me make sure the mic's on, yeah. Because I actually made a video on this just a second ago, and I was looking at this and referred to the pattern site, but my mic cut out for whatever reason, so I had to restart it. But the patternsite.com if you want to use this, you can identify candlestick patterns. You can look them up and all this kind of stuff. It's made by a guy named Thomas Bulkowski. He updates it all the time. He's been trading longer than I've been alive. This guy is a veteran, well-respected analyst in the technical worlds. If you go to this, thepatternsight.com is a totally free website. You can click on the candlesticks part, and there's a glossary essentially full of all different types of candlesticks. Go nuts, learn about them all if you want to. Not all of them apply to crypto because some of them only can apply to the stock market because of gaps and stuff like that. You don't really get gaps in crypto so much. You just get them in the stock market or the CME, which is the stock market, right? But I digress. Essentially, you can look that up. You can go to patterns, whatever. Have fun learning, right? It's a free resource, literally a glossary to technical analytics, and this guy's been doing it for a very long time, very well respected. But I'm not going to spend too much time on this. The reason why I was referencing this at all is because XCN could be doing something that's known as like an abandoned baby, is what it's called, where essentially you get a fat candle to the downside. You get this kind of, it's almost like a spinning top. I think technically it has to be a spinning top, but for crypto it might be a little bit different, right? Stocks are a bit different, but wicks on both sides, a doji candle nonetheless, whether it's a dragonfly or not, this looks pretty appropriate. And then what we would have to see here is that this 1 hour candle either engulfs this candle, this last candle here, or comes up like 2/3 of the way. If we get a close, and it's a body, it has to be a body. If we get a close, it's at like 1.96 cents by the end of this hour or higher. I think that this would be a sign of bullish reversal, not just because of the candlestick pattern, but because of the 1 hour RSI providing a double bottom as well. You've been in a downtrend. Your 1 hour RSI sucks too, but here's the deal, right? Lower lows, not a lower low this time. Now it's a double bottom. You're in a position where you've gotten oversold. I mean, downtrends, uptrends, they can't persist too much, right? You're not going to break through 100. You're going to have to stop your uptrend whenever you're in the overbought zone. You're going to have to stop your downtrend when you're in the oversold zone. And we're in the oversold zone, and the downtrend got stopped dead in its tracks if this 1 hour candle closes green. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but on this 1 hour candle here, it is the 3rd hour of the day, this the 27th of April. If we do close this green, that could set us up for a very bullish continuation. Now, this is the 1 hour time frame. It's not the most significant time frame, but if this is the low on the 1 hour time frame, that could mean that we grow for the rest of the day, right? That could mean that we're recovering for the rest of the day. And if we do that, if we recover for the rest of the day, we really do stand a chance, actually, of closing back above 2.035 cents. And if we do that, this whole close below, this bearish excitement that might be going on, might not be. I don't know. I haven't had time to read the comments today. It's been a busy day for me, getting things set up for a birthday party. Not mine, just a family member's. What was I saying? I'm getting all distracted. We really do stand a chance. 1 hour time frame, 15-minute time frame do allow me to believe that we could grow through the rest of the day. Even with the 15-minute time frame posing a little bit of a threat to the downside, maybe we do move up some, and then we move down some, and then we move up. You know what I mean? It's the 15-minute, it's even less significant. A half day makes a huge difference in this thing, let alone on the 1 hour. A full day makes a huge difference. If we're looking at the 4 hour time frame, the 4 hour sucks, right? Before we get out to the 4 hour, let's talk about the 1 hour again real quick. Double bottom, yes, but you're also finding support at basically the same area you found support the last few times too. And even before this, look, you find support in this area in the oversold zone. Rarely do you go below it. Rarely. And whenever you were going below it, look at this. This was you're in the depths of despair here, right? We're not so much in the depths of despair right now. It might be a little bit disparaging, whatever the right word would be, to see it move down and not move up. We're impatient. We want it to move up. Back here, 1.9 cents was a godsend. Now it's like, don't touch me. I don't want to see you. Get away from me. We're trying to go higher. You know, I get it, but we're in a good placement, you guys. I don't know about you, but I did not see too many coins from April 7th to April 11th. I did not see too many coins pump 260%. That I don't know. This is the only one that I saw pump that much in that amount of time. But anyways, so what I'm saying by that is we could go lower and still be ahead of the pack, right? We could still see a lower low, be in some kind of other bull flag like this, still be ahead of the pack. It just might take more time to see these upside targets. I wouldn't want to see the price go lower. At the same time, I wouldn't really care. I'll just buy more. I'll put more money into this thing. I've got cash on the side ready to buy. I've got some trades set up that are in the green. I would definitely take profits even early compared to some of the targets I have for these trades. If OnyxCoin went down, I would take profits early just to buy back in here, man. And I will if that happens. But looking at the 4-hour RSI, getting away from the 1 hour, right? Talking about the 4-hour, it does suck. It is pretty bad. But what's nice about it, it's actually very deceitful. If you hold this as support, it's very deceitful because it looks like you want to go oversold, just like it did here, just like it did here, right? Even here, you did get oversold, but it was in and then it was out. You know what I mean? It wasn't actually bearishness. If we're looking at that here, that example there, that was just the dip before the rip. You know what I mean? If we find support here in this next 1 hour, oh, look at that. That would be nice. That would actually, look at this. So the 1 hour time frame, if it closes like I think it will, that'll actually pull up the 4-hour too, and we would reverse from here at this area in the RSI. That'd actually be a kind of interesting setup if that did happen. Let's see what are we doing here as well, from a low to a high, right at the golden ratio. Couldn't write it better myself, man. Prior areas of resistance, prior areas of support in this area, and you're right at the relative golden ratio. I don't know, man. It smells like a bounce to me. So I wasn't going to call for it, but I'm confident enough now, and I want to see it happen. But that's not why I'm calling for it, right? If I wanted to see it happen, I would have called for it in the beginning of the video. But now that we've done our homework, we actually might get a green day today. It would not surprise me if we did. And if we do, it just validates the whole notion that this is a bear trap. This is some psyop stuff going on right now. Closing below the 2.03 cent price area. If we can close above that today, it invalidates the bearish notion. And beyond that, it supercharges the bullish notion, because if we close green today, we're bouncing off the 60 in the RSI. Yesterday closed right here. So if we close green, the RSI won't be pointed down, it'll be pointed up. We'll be bouncing right off it. And that maneuvering, higher lows, bouncing, rejecting off your overbought, bouncing off the 60, you guys, this is going to be phenomenal. And that would lead to everything that we've been saying over the past couple of days here, over the past couple of weeks really, is that the end of April is going to provide a phenomenal charge to the upside, right? Very much do expect still that we could see 5.5 cents by the end of the month. If we don't see it by the end of the month, don't get your feelings hurt. Even if we go lower by the end of the month, don't get your feelings hurt. Inevitably, we're going to this area, but whether it's over the next 3 days, over the next 3 weeks, that's still up in the air apparently. But today we might have a little bit more closure on that. If we can close green, if we can get back above 2035 cents. So ball's in your court for now, bears, but the bulls could run away with this really soon if they just show a little muscle here. But if not, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, we could drop down to 1.4 cents. It really wouldn't be too crazy, right? Lower lows like this, lower highs like this. Maybe we're in a parallel channel like this, and it is a bull flag still. We bounce at the 0.5. We bounce off the 0.5 before down here. It provided immaculate growth. Maybe we bounce there, and instead of 5.5 cents being our measure move, instead of it happening by the end of the month, maybe 4.8 cents would be our measure move target, and it would happen sometime in the middle of May. Either way, we're getting there. Whether it's this week or next week or the following week, we're getting there. But depending on how this day closes, that could really help us estimate better the timing of this all. So I got nothing else for you guys. I look forward to the next video because I'm assuming we'll have more clarity by then. If we've only moved down, it's likely that today would close red, right? But if we do move up over the next 12 hours or so, I mean, this really does. I like this 1 hour time. I don't really weigh on the 1 hour too much, but this 1 hour is pretty significant right now. This area that we found support seems pretty significant. Even the 4 hour providing areas that we've bounced from recently in the recent history of April. It's a pretty good setup. Getting overbought, not getting oversold. We'd love to see it, but can you maintain that? That's the question. So we'll see on the next video. We'll see how that goes. I got nothing else for you guys. You'll see by the time you watch this, most of you will be aware if this candle, the very first 4 hour candle, closes a little bit more to the upside or not. Again, what we're looking for is this 1 hour, this 4 hour to close at 1.96 thereabouts or higher, ideally higher. And if we can, that would actually look like a very good bullish reversal here. If not, lower we go. But anyways, I'm just repeating myself. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.